It's hot out here. Where's this bus?
Toni, it's not that serious. The bus is wherever it is. It'll be here soon.
Not that serious. I didn't spend 20 years in Florida. I'm not used to this heat.
What you trying to say? I lived outside when I was in Florida or something? It's hot to me too.
Okay.
You know, it looks like we right back where we started, huh, Toni?
I wouldn't say that. There's been progress.
I can't damn.
I'm serious.
Well, I know I'm tired of switching, and I hope this is the last time doing the intros, because I ain't got money like this.
And I'm tired of this heat, and where's this bus?
Toni, are you even listening to me? You getting paid, you got a contract. I'm talking to you, you ain't even hearing nothing I'm saying.
I'm not going anywhere. But I would be going somewhere if this bus would show up.
You know what? I can't do it. You know what? Let's go, Toni. Let's just walk. You complain about it's hot, damn it. You making it hot. Come on, let's go.
It's hot.
You complaining too much.
Well, it's hot.
Yeah, I know it's hot. What do you want? What do you want? You got ice cubes in here or something? Come on. Can't even read my magazine.
They always forget me. Always forget me. Every time. Never fails.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Episode number 37 of the Perfectly Incomplete Podcast. I'm your host, Imogene. I'm in the building. I'm going to be giving smack to my girl, Toni. What's up?
Hi, everyone. Well, I gotta get the smack.
Because you catching it. And we got the Negro in the corner on punishment. Alex in the building. What's up? He's in timeout.
I'm actually the host of this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, what's up, y'all? What's up? Everybody good?
Yeah, we're great.
Y'all ready to pod?
I mean, you know.
All right, anybody got to go to the bathroom?
Nope.
Y'all ask Asia.
Asia,
You gotta go to the bathroom. Because one thing
sure?
about Asia, she gonna go to the bathroom. That's the one thing about Asia.
All right, okay, we good. So listen, we're just gonna cut to the chase. Toni and Alex, y'all was trying to get into some vibe after last time's filming, and I cut y'all short. I was setting y'all up. So today, I'm gonna let y'all go at it. I'm gonna drop the backdrop for those watching and listening. So listen, y'all, this is the deal. So there's this narrative now, or there's the issue that a lot of Black women, contemporary women, primarily the ages between 28 and I'll say 40 to 44, around there, 28 to 44, they're not getting married. There's a shortage of men. There's not enough men that want to marry them and all of this good stuff for different reasons. And so Alex trying to play like he's a misogynist over here. He has his perspective.
I'm about to look that word up. By the way.
Okay. And Toni has her perspective, and I have mine. And so what it boils down to, I got to throw this in here. Women forever have been ragging Black men. And I'm talking about African-American women. Y'all know how we do. Y'all heifers know how we do. And I'm not calling you a heifer. You know, that's that little dirty South coming out. I don't mean it literally. But you often hear women ragging men. And men take it. And so now, y'all can get into it. I'm setting the backdrop.
Okay.
So now men are speaking up and they're calling women out on things. And I'll just say that one more thing.
It's about time.
Women are saying they want to be married. They want this. They want that. They want this. And yet they're not conducting themselves in a manner to deserve what they say they're asking for.
Facts.
So we good? Is that what it is?
Let's get to it.
Yeah,
All
okay,
right.
let's go.
Go ahead,
All right,
Toni.
so listen, these are the rules. Keep it clean. No hitting below the belt. You got to hit the brain, okay? We Gucci?
You gotta tell.
Headshots
You
only.
gotta tell
got it.
Shorty.
I got it.
You gotta tell Shorty
Headshots
that.
only.
Do you hear me
gotta tell
talking to you?
I said headshots
Do you
only.
got
I
it?
agree.
Do you got it?
I
She
agree.
getting mad already. Yeah, I mean,
All
no,
right.
I'm talking about you. You
All
getting
right,
mad.
let's do it. Let's do it. Bring it down and let's get it. So who wants to take the ding, ding, ding? Who wants the first jack?
So let's get into it because she pretty much set the stage for what my sentiment is. So to that, everything that she explained about women have been known since the beginning of time to talk about a man and what they don't like in men and what they look for in men. Now men are stepping out and now it seems to be a big problem. To that, you say what?
I don't think this seems to be a big problem. I think it's the way in which we conduct the conversation.
Okay.
So
Wait a minute. Is it a problem or is it not a problem?
I just said that it wasn't a problem. It's
Yeah.
not a problem
very
that
clear.
you don't agree. There's no problem with that because everybody's entitled to
Okay,
an
well, let's
opinion.
be clear.
So again, I don't think that there's a problem. I think it's the way that you conduct the conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
So
With that being said, I'm not gonna be y'all fillers. We're gonna maximize this time. Let's get it.
We're trying.
Right.
I feel like
Okay, I need to be quiet.
yeah.
I thought
I was going to say I was in,
She
flow,
turned-
and then you just
Yeah, she turned 3 real fast. I caught that.
I did what?
You turned 3 real fast with the I saw it. I caught it.
awful.
So you say you think it's all about how we conduct the conversation.
Absolutely. There's no reason why I should have to speak call you outside your name
Mhm.
and vice versa in order for us to have a conversation.
Okay.
Now, granted, again, we all have opinions.
Mhm.
We don't agree on everything 1,000% of the time. Otherwise, this is a more perfect world. We don't live in a autonomous society.
So
Correct?
true.
No.
We don't, correct?
Autonomous.
Yes.
Autonomous is free will, free volition. So
Autonomous means the same.
autonomous does not mean the same.
Homogenous. Thank
okay,
you.
don't mess with me, girl, because I'm a walking dictionary, okay? Anywho,
And you heard what she said. She said what she said. To
it's cool, but no, go on, honey.
So we don't live in a homogenous society.
Mhm.
We don't all have the same opinions. That's fine.
Right.
That's absolutely fine. However, don't be disrespectful about it.
So who are you talking to? Because we talking about the disconnect between men and women. So who are you specifically talking to?
Both parties. Don't be disrespectful. Period.
Okay. So why is it that when, and let's take just for example Kevin Samuels, why is it that when he starts saying this or echoing the same sentiment that you just echoed, why does it seem to be a problem?
Again, I don't have a problem with the conversation.
Mhm.
It's his approach.
It's the way that you
Okay.
conduct the conversation.
So I'll ask you a question. Would you agree or disagree that men have been trying to have conversations with their women for quite some time now?
With who woman?
With
I'm
their
only
women.
one woman, so I can't speak for all men.
Tony, you know women though. You
I
know
do,
women.
but I can't also say that
So look, I'm
Men
gonna
are-
help y'all because we're not gonna dance around this. The bottom line is, yes, women, no, because you're like, have men, she can't speak for men. Your boy's doing that. So we're speaking from what we know and what we see. We're aware of the culture with females, a lot of single parents, a lot of young women aren't married,
yes.
and stuff like that because they got jobs and they got careers and their attitude is I don't need no man and all of that stuff. So we're aware of that. So you don't have to ask her that, okay? I'm not trying to shut you down. I just want y'all to get
I'm
to
just
it.
trying to have a conversation, man. There's a way that I'm trying to walk into this because I don't want to just jump into it and just start spewing out a bunch of opinions. I want to pace myself. I want to take this slow. So I want to start with mutual understanding. Have you ever seen a couple who've had a problem, right? You personally, whether it be on TV, whether you've heard about it in the news or whatever the case may be. It could even be fictional. It could be a story that was based on somebody else. It could be a movie that was based on somebody's life. Have you ever experienced a woman and a man being at odds and the man trying to reason with his significant other and his female significant other shuts him down or conducts herself in a conversation very poorly? Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I've seen both sides of that coin, actually.
That's not asked though. I said specifically.
I've seen both sides of that coin.
And that's my problem.
Tony,
Because-
you have to answer the question.
I did.
But
I
no,
said
you
yes, and
addressed-
I've
he
seen
asked
both
you
sides of
He
that
didn't ask
coin.
you which sides have you seen. He specifically asked you, have
I
you
And
seen?
that's
answered
my-
the question,
but
which was
And
yes.
that's the problem. That's one
That's
of the
my
things.
problem.
That's one of the things that the dude identifies is women. When you try to talk with them, instead of them dealing with what you're presenting, they got to be vague and just like you just did.
that wasn't vague. That was quite
no,
specific.
but you just demonstrated. You didn't respond to the question he asked. It was very specific.
Okay, fine. Yes.
So you have seen a situation where a man and a woman may be at odds, and a man may try to reason with his significant other, and his female significant other reacts poorly or doesn't conduct herself in a not professional, but a mature manner. You've seen that.
Correct.
Okay. So, and going back to your first statement where you say it's not about what you say, but it's about how you have the conversation. What do you say for those instances when a man is trying to reason with his woman and it's not going over well? What do you say to that?
Walk away from the conversation.
Okay. Then what?
And then leave the conversation where it is, and you conduct yourself in a manner in which you feel as if is appropriate.
But
So
ha-
if you feel as if you're not being respected in a relationship, for instance, don't stay in a relationship.
Okay. So that brings me to my final point because you're helping me out a lot.
You did that so well.
You're helping me out
Go
a lot.
for it.
So why
You're
is
playing
it?
chess, buddy.
So why? I'm just chilling. So why is it that so many women complain about there not being enough men and complaining about the fact that they're single and they can't find this and that and the third, when you said out of your own mouth that you've definitely seen a lot of situations where a female and a male may be having a conversation or be at odds with each other, and the male. So you agree with the fact that if a man feels as if he's not being respected, he should walk away?
Yes.
Okay. So my point in hearing her say that is, if that is your sentiment, you can't turn around and feel some type of way because you can't find the man that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
And
I agree with that.
And at some point, you do have to take some sort of self-accountability and look at yourself and say, what can I do to add to my relationship? You agree or disagree?
Absolutely. Again, I believe I've said this before,
Beautiful.
that you can't expect somebody to bring something to the table that you don't bring yourself.
Beautiful. So my final question is, why is it that we don't... Why is it that we don't... No, I'm going to get there. Why is it that we don't have more of those conversations? That's
up to the people. I can't say that. You said it yourself that I'm the quote unquote the exception to the rule, correct?
Mm-hmm. True.
All right. So being that I'm the exception, I don't think like everybody else, or as the average. I don't think that way.
Right.
So whereas my thought process with certain types of things may differ from others, I can't speak on them.
Sure.
I can only speak of people who are aligned with my way of doing things.
Right.
And align with myself with those people who are like-minded like myself.
Right.
Can't speak for everybody else.
True. So let's use you then.
Fine.
Because you can judge a lot, or you can draw a conclusion based off of when someone chooses to be silent and when somebody decides to speak. So why is it that when we speak on Kevin Samuels and we can highlight the fact that his approach is harsh and just the way he delivers it, it's nasty, but you've agreed that you've seen the same thing from women, but on an occasional, on a consistent basis, we shy away from those conversations. We only make it a big deal when it's a man doing it. Why is that?
We don't make it a big deal only when it's a man doing it.
What other conversation have we had on this platform where you may see a female just getting crazy out the mouth or just talking crazy or threatening to hit their man, and that we've actually spent time and made it a subject in our conversation?
Again, I don't know we haven't had that conversation because it hasn't been a female in that type of, with the platform in order for that to happen. That we've had a discussion about.
We're talking about it now, moving forward.
But I'm just saying.
No, he said, why haven't we had the discussion?
Because we haven't had the conversation.
So we can move forward. We're doing it now.
Okay.
So we can talk about anything. Female,
all right,
guys,
great.
It don't matter.
Beautiful. What do you think the disconnect between men and women are? Let's more specific. What do you think the disconnect between black men and black women are when it comes to like having where are we going wrong as far as relationships?
I don't feel as if the family unit was there to begin with for black families. There was no such thing as a family unit from the beginning for black families. Black families were torn apart historically.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was from the beginning, black families were torn apart with the African enslavement, into moving into Jim Crow and the institutionalization of our men. Mm-hmm. We have been torn apart. Mm-hmm. So
structural systems have contributed to the demise of black couples and black marriages. True. Absolutely.
Right.
True.
So with that being said, we essentially, where every other group has had the opportunity to sit there and improve their relationships and their family units, black families have not had that.
So I agree with you. We haven't really had historically had the opportunity to improve relationships.
Correct. We haven't had the opportunity to develop the relationships that we needed to have.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
I was going to disagree too.
Can I just chime in?
Please.
Okay. I agree with you wholehearted, Alex. Being a woman, I don't really care. I'm going to say what I think. Being a woman, I agree. The legacy of slavery and all of that has really disrupted the familiar structure of the African-American family. Mm-hmm. And as a result, as a result of the structural things, mass incarceration, the mortality rate of black men, right? There's not enough black men for black women. But in the age that we're in now, with the contemporary woman, you can't use that for an excuse.
No, that was Gary saying. I don't agree with the whole there's not enough black men for black women. I ain't going to go there with that.
Well,
no, that's a fact. No, that's a fact. That's actually a fact.
That's real.
That's a fact.
I don't, okay.
If you check the numbers, or maybe Asia will check the numbers and put them in here, but let's even move past that. But it is a fact. There is a shortage of black men
in comparison to black women.
In comparison to black women.
That's a fact.
Hands down. Hands down. Why do you think a lot of women are messing with married men, and a lot of them are turning to the same sex. I'm not saying that's the sole reason, but all of these are variables that contribute to women going with married men.
I alluded to that last time.
Women being with men knowing they ain't no good. Women just taking a lot of stuff from guys that they shouldn't be taking. I want to hear it. Talk to me.
So the married men part, okay, I feel like that's a lot of that is just psychological. The need to want something that you can't have.
Maybe, or that's possible. And it also could be the need to value yourself lower than you should to get somebody's scraps. I can speak on both sides. Unfortunately, I've had that experience a while ago with messing with a married guy. Not proud of that. God forgive me. You know what I'm saying? And I've had that happen to me. Where I am now, no. But when you say the need to have something, to want something that you can't have, to me, that's the most craziest thing in the world. Why do I want somebody else's stuff? And why do I want to be second to none? I'm not doing that. So if somebody has the psyche to think that, oh, I want it because I can't have it, we're not talking about women. We're talking about immature little girls. And I thought in this conversation, we were talking about women.
Well, I will
contemporary women.
Yes, if you don't mind, and if you don't mind, I would like to get down to the nitty gritty to it. I really want to dig into where do you think that we're going wrong, black men and black women in relationships? Why do you feel is it you alluded to? Well, we haven't had the opportunity. I disagree too. I feel like we have all the opportunity and space now, and have for quite some time now, to develop and improve our relationships. It's a choice at this point.
You, for quite some time now, you say, and how much time do you think that is?
I could say at least for the past 20 years.
20 years, you think that's quite some time?
1,000%.
That's
40
your
years.
lifetime.
40.
I can say 40 years as well, and I have statistics to back that one too.
60. Yeah, I'm there.
I say we've had quite enough time to develop and improve relationships with
So
one
we're
another.
not even going to talk about the crack epidemic of the 80s, correct?
There are math. Yeah, we can.
No,
if you would like.
I'm being clear.
That's structural stuff. That's
No.
Again, but then again, my question still remains. You said for the past 40 years.
Yep.
I don't believe that's true.
Because
When we go into the structural things that create barriers and severe barriers, and when it comes down to the family unit,
right.
These are things that are very important and crucial to recognize.
But if we're having that conversation, we can say that there's always going to be something that makes it difficult for you to accomplish or achieve that goal. But at the end of the day, it is a choice, though. It's about how hard you are willing to fight to make it happen. I've seen historically black men with their black women fight hard to try to win them over, and it hasn't been successful. Black women, for a fact, and well, I ain't gonna say for a fact, in my opinion, don't respect black men the way that they used to.
I agree with you.
That's my opinion.
I agree with you. And to just throw something here, when you said when have we had a chance to, I'll give you the year, 1967, when interracial marriage was legally allowed. So how come sisters, when they saw the brothers run into these white women, how come these sisters didn't humble themselves and start talking to these brothers and trying to work it out? Instead of saying, yeah, you run into these white women, this and that, how come sisters didn't step up to the plate then?
Because humility is a curse word for a lot of our sisters,
I just
in
had
my
to throw
opinion.
that in there because she's saying, when did we have a chance? It's just like when you see things starting to happen, you wait till the water gets all the way hot for you to know it's been heating all the time.
But who said that then those black women wanted those black men to begin with?
Yo, Toni, I can't
I'm
do this.
just saying.
But the issue is,
period. No. If we're gonna discuss that, if we're gonna present that narrative, let's go into it.
The numbers say the statistics.
But who said that they didn't want them?
Okay. Well, look.
She has a point. No,
she
because
has a
you're
very
saying
good point.
Oh, they're running to white women. Who said I wanted you to begin with?
So let's stay there.
Okay, and that's the thing. She just said it. Listen to what she just said. Who said I wanted you in the first place?
Who said I wanted to be with a black man to begin with?
Okay, true. But we're talking about the marriage rate, the number of single black women, how the numbers of black women being married have decreased, the divorce rate among black women have increased. And yet we're talking about how they talk about brothers, but yet they say they want to be married, but yet they got PhDs and they're educated and I don't need no man. It's a contradiction.
It's a huge contradiction.
My biggest thing is this, is that here's my thing. My biggest thing is this. You're saying that we have these degrees in this, that, and whatever. Statistically speaking, and if I'm wrong, please correct me.
You know we will.
That's fair. Statistically
I'm
speaking,
thinking about mom.
we see that when after men get a certain level of education, they don't look for women who don't have that same level of education, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, you see.
Am I wrong?
You see it.
I agree with that.
You
I
see
think
it.
you're correct with that.
So, if we're looking at the other side of the coin, as a woman who is educated, I believe in being equally yoked.
What does that mean to you?
So, what I have, granted, what I have is a certain level of education, right? To me, I expect my partner, if not to have the drive to match my hustle, to exceed my hustle. Understood?
Yeah.
I'm following you.
Is that fair? Is that a fair statement? Please correct me.
It's yours.
That's
It's yours.
yours. So we
but I'm
respect
just saying.
it.
So
You're telling us what you like. We
that's
respect
what I
that.
expect. So
Okay.
if I get up off my black behind and I go to work every day, unless something is physically or mentally impeding you to do that, and we have that mutual understanding, and I know that going into a relationship, I expect you to do the same.
Okay. Can I respond to that?
Sure.
I don't look at it as black and white as that. I don't look at it as if I'm going out and working, you need to go out and work. If I'm going out and I'm hustling in this area, you need to go out and hustle in this area. I look at your willingness as I look at your mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? Do you have a team member mindset? Or do you have, I may not expect you, like, for example, I'll use my relationship. I may not expect my girlfriend to make as much money as me. I may not expect her to go out and physically work on a job as hard as me. But what I may expect is if I'm working this hard, at least have dinner prepared, sweetheart. If you're at home and you have a little bit of time, do you mind doing the laundry? Do you mind doing it? I expect someone to have the teammate mentality. And I mean, to each their own. If you do want to break it down specifically to say you have to be on my level or close to my level, you can do it. But if that's the case, you will miss out on a lot of men. Women.
I'm a very independent person also.
All right.
But that's just me.
And I get it. And I have to say, I've heard myself say a lot, I don't need a man. And I meant in the sense of finances, right? Because financially, I can take care of myself. But as an emotional creature, as a woman, masculine I may be in some areas, I need a man. As a woman, like, I do believe that a man is a provider, protector, that he does that. He just his physical makeup, he's the stronger sex. And so I'll say, yeah, I'm independent too, but I'm not so independent because I will submit to that man that I love.
Don't say that because that's a curse word.
No, I'm saying I will. And, I've been divorced and stuff like that. And it is what it is. I learned from it. And that was on me, not know who I am and stuff like that. But I do reflect on myself and look at myself. A lot of women are afraid to do that. So I'm just saying, for me, as far as being on the same level, I'm a doctoral candidate, okay? We know that the percentage of women that are more educated than men is just way up there. It's more women educated than men. We know that. And so to say that you're going to get a man, if you got a master, she's got to have a man. And that's your value. That's your value.
I said if they don't equate to my education level, they have to at least match my hustle, my drive.
Okay. And that's something specific
so like
to
you don't have to have a degree. You can have a trade. You can be talented in other areas. But one thing I'm not going to do is that I'm not the type of person, I will say this, and it's going to sound very brash and harsh, and it's probably not exactly what I want to say, but I'm not the type of person to build a person.
Okay.
Now I can build with a person.
Okay.
But I can't put all of my energy into you and you sit there and suck the energy from me.
I need to
and do
refocus
nothing
y'all,
else.
though. And this may be fruitful, but you're away from it because the essence of the conversation was why is women. We're talking about soft skills here, whether you know it or not. Conflict resolution, communication skills. This is what we're talking about. Roles in relationships. And we're kind of drifting a little bit. And I get it. That's important, Toni, your expectations, right? But I think Alex was honing in on why are women, African American women, tripping because they can't get the man that they think they want, making this amount of money, this kind of career. And my answer is they can't get that kind of man because they're not being realistic. Like you just said, you want somebody, if he's not as educated, at least to have your hustle. I didn't hear nothing about no soft values. I heard nothing about patient, supportive. I heard none of those things. Attributes, what makes the person. I heard economical stuff.
It's a business, because at the end of the day, it's a business transaction. And we look at it completely different. Men look at it very different from women look at it. Men look at it like, I want somebody, of course, that I could build a life with. I want somebody that I can connect with. I feel like at some point, women used to look at it that way, but things have changed for sure, right? So let's stay there for a second. Let's stay, because initially the question was, where are we going wrong as far as black men and black women, our relationships, why aren't they there? I want to go back to something that Toni said, and her statement was, well, who says that I want that black man?
It's
right?
true.
So, but that's fine. That's cool. That's okay, right? But so if we're having a conversation of where is it going wrong with black men and black women, I want to go back to my statement. In my opinion, when I said I feel as if black women do not respect black men, that they have the same level of respect toward black men that they used to. And my thing is this: all right, cool. You're into whatever you're into, right? But you say you don't want the black man. Well, who do you go to? Who do you go to? What man in the world has had your back more than black men?
That I would agree with. There isn't. There hasn't been a single group that has been supportive of the black woman other than the black man.
Okay.
I would say that.
So in response to that, I'll say, then why is it that, can I just go for it? Like, for real?
Yeah, I need some energy, man.
Why is it that black women shit on black men as much as they do?
What do you mean?
If you want to go back to my original conversation that I had 2 weeks ago, are we naming times?
I need y'all, listen, I want to be engaged. Y'all playing games like you don't know what each other talking about. I want to hear the conversation. Let's get with it. We only got so much time. Y'all playing. Get to the heart of the issue.
I think we having a conversation. I think we're doing really well. It's a lot of pressure when you're just like,
I want to know.
More energy.
You've asked the same question 3 times, and I have yet to hear the answer.
Because we somehow, I don't know if it's because you're evasive, but we're not getting down to the root of it. My statement was, I feel as if okay, let's start here. Do you agree or disagree with the fact or with the opinion that black women has a lower level of respect for men in 2021?
What? I didn't hear you because Ma was talking.
Do you agree or disagree with my sentiment that black women have a lower level of respect for black men in 2021?
Ooh. I'm trying to think. Because I can't see, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, and not trying to think of myself. From what you've seen. So.
On average.
I don't think black women respect anybody.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, but it's true. I feel like right now, like we just like forget about the respect. Damn the respect. Like forget about it.
I'm so glad at least you're honest, because that's my sentiment.
Because it's just like, at this point, I feel like they're just like, forget about it. Like,
and can I say something? At the end of the day, that's the conversation for me. That's the conversation for me. That is the point that I'm trying to get to. I'm not saying that black men are perfect, and I'm not saying that black men don't have flaws.
It sound like, though.
No, I'm not saying that black men don't. No, my point in saying all that I was saying was we spend so much time talking about black men and their imperfections, but when we really get to the nitty gritty of why relationships don't work, 66% of women divorce. 66% of women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's actually increased to 75% over the last few years. So and 50% of people of relationships separated or divorced just this year.
Yeah.
And so if we really want to have the conversation of why relationships aren't working on average, just look at the numbers.
And look at the number. But let me, I have to take it on a structural level, because like I say, the world that we live in has been carefully designed. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And so I do agree with Mr. Samuels, and I'm not going to keep referencing him. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is, from up into the 60s when you had the civil rights movement, with the barring of making interracial marriages illegal when that got passed, and then the women's movement and women being able to get welfare, and from the evolution of child support, and women. It's weird because as educated as we are, it's like we blind to see what time it is. Yes, our men are being locked up. They're plastering them on the media, making them look like they're demonizing our race, our neighborhoods, our everything. And yes, government, institutions, business, all of this it's like propaganda.
Absolutely.
And so we're so educated. We got PhDs and all this stuff.
But what is it doing for you?
And you can't even see what time it is that these forces are just dividing our families, turning us against our own kind.
And that's the craziest thing because on average, women typically long for relationships more than men do.
Yes.
You can have the most established woman, career driven woman, and she could be miserable. Why is it? Because when she looked to the left and she looked to the right of her, there's no family unit there. There's no family unit there. And so my thing is, if we're going back to having a conversation of like where the disconnect is, at some point like globally, and it's going to take somebody with a major platform to have the conversation of, all right, let's take it off of the men for a little bit because it takes two to tango, right? One thing I said to you yesterday, Mom, black men, we've never changed. We've been consistent. We've stayed, flaws and all. We've been the same. Our attitudes, the way that we look at things, whether we're aggressive, whatever the case may be, I'm talking about good, bad, ugly. We have been consistent. If we gonna be crackheads, we've been, I ain't gonna say that, but if we've been messed up and cheating on our wives, we've been doing it consistently since the beginning of time, right? Describing what you just described about all the changes that have happened through history, it's the women who've changed.
And let me speak up for them too, because I am a woman and I understand both sides. And I'm going to just put it out here. Yes, I agree. These contemporary young ladies, I'm not going to tell them what they need to do, but I think they would benefit. When you talk about the Institute of Marriage, the way I do believe in that a woman was made, a man and a wife are made, a woman was made to be his partner, his companion. I do believe God had in mind that both of you all have purpose and stuff like that, but I do believe the man is the stronger sex and all of this stuff. So I'm going to just lay that out there. I'll put that there. But I say for the women, you can't talk to these young women because they do, like, as an example, I see when you look on social media or you look on the news, they'll show a young person beating up an old lady, slapping an old lady. How did we get there?
That's just
how do we get there? But the bigger question is, how do we get back? Because like you say, Kevin Samuels is speaking to these women. Maybe his approach is wrong, but what he's saying is really is valid. They popping their head and popping their neck. Alex, even you was telling me, you said these New York girls are
tough. They are hard.
Alex told me, tell them the story, what you said.
She's not from New York, but I'm going to say this. Megan Thee Stallion, right?
She's from Texas.
Hot Girl Summer, right? That's her song. This is what the lyrics say.
I have to say she's from Texas.
But I'm saying women, modern black women, period. This is what the lyrics say. Handle me, huh? Who gonna handle me? Thinking he's a player, he a member on the team. He put in all that work, he wanna be MVP. Boy, bye. I told him ain't no taming me. I love my niggas equally. Effing 9-to-5 niggas that with that superstar D. F the superstar nigga. Now I got him balling. I caught a jet to get that neck. I told him call, don't send no text, mwah, and don't you tell them you with me when they be asking where you at. I ain't never heard a female historically in 1942 or in 1960 talking about something. I caught that jet to get that neck. You sounded more like niggas than niggas is sounding. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it honest. But hold on. It goes back to what I said when I said men have been consistent, flaws and all. Black men have been consistent.
Right.
It was never the black men turning their backs on the black women. That didn't happen.
Regardless of what.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was the black women turning their backs on their black men.
I agree.
But here's the one thing, because if we gonna talk about it, and I'm sorry it took me a minute to get here. If we gonna pod, let's pod. Black women always talking about somehow niggas ain't shit, this and that and the third. Let's keep it a buck. You agreed with the fact that there is no other male group in the world that hold black women down the way that black men do.
Yes.
Here's the thing. To a certain extent, on average, black men have shielded women from certain harsh realities. Whether you want to agree with it or not, that's a fact. Black men don't have anybody to shield black men from harsh realities. Black men will literally die for their females or go hungry so they family don't have to. You don't got to see that part of the world. I'ma eat it, right? So,
but I've seen that part of the world.
I'm saying you're the exception.
I agree
I'm
with
saying
you.
on average, I'm talking about whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's a dad,
Yeah.
whether it's an uncle.
Yeah.
Black women on average, or black men on average,
men are black men. They hold it down.
hold it down.
Absolutely.
But we want to talk about, oh yeah, he's sleeping with Becky. And that's fine. If you want to have that conversation, it is what it is. But if you want to really get to the nitty gritty of why are relationships not working, baby, you got to look at yourself.
And that's where the power is.
Because that's where
That's
a
where
vast majority of the reason comes from.
Yeah. And to even not, it's another conversation, but just to say that when you say look at yourself, that's the key for anything you want in this world. Look at yourself. Really look at yourself.
You can't tell them that though, because that's a curse
What's
word.
your strengths? What's your weaknesses? You can't acknowledge what you need to work on.
You can't tell them that. That's why black men are so afraid to talk about things on camera, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get canceled. Oh, you imagine a black man going in a hair salon and saying what I'm saying right now. Oh my God, they would chew him up.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy about the conversation? Nothing that I'm saying is untrue.
I agree with you, Alexander. I agree with you wholehearted. And I'm a woman. I'm in that group. I'm an older woman. But as I reflect and I think back,
Toni, you're supposed to put up a better fight.
yeah, she was.
I feel like I printed off.
She was.
I didn't even get to use half my stats and half of what
because she did her hair while she was seeing her makeup. I noticed every time she beats her face a little extra, she be trying to act off.
But I
extra
respect
feminine,
it. I'm gonna say this. I respect it because I feel like
I don't try to act extra feminine for anybody.
I'm gonna tell you why.
You be real all the time.
I'm like this 24/7. I'm listening.
Really?
I'm gonna tell you why I respect you,
But you
Toni,
gave
in this
him a whoop
conversation.
last time.
I'm getting there. Don't you worry. I'm
No,
gonna wait till he's finished.
listen. I'm gonna tell you why I respect you though in this conversation, because in this conversation I can tell that you're actually listening. You're actually listening and you're actually absorbing. That's
Yes.
more. You can agree or disagree. That's fine. It is what it is. We can have that conversation. But that's where it at least starts. Let's have a conversation with our women. Let's sit down without all the yelling, without all the screaming, without all the "I'm gonna punch you in your face, nigga. Where you been at? Why you home so late?" Without all of that, let's sit down and let's have a conversation.
All right, I'm gonna say this.
Let's do it.
And this is the reason why I'm gonna say what I need to say. I would say fortunately, myself,
Mhm.
my cousins,
Mhm.
my sisters,
Hey, sisters.
we were raised very differently.
Mhm.
Very differently. I even look at the community in which I grew up in,
Mhm.
and I see people who I grew up with, and I'm just like, how do I act the way I act and you act the way you act? And some just don't make sense. We went to the same schools. We have some of us have the same level of education,
Mhm.
but there's just certain things that just don't mesh too well,
Mhm.
like the ability to sit back and have a conversation and it not turn into, oh, nigga, you're this and da da da. I can get there. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I'm very much real. However,
We know you black. Black people can get their period. I'm sorry, we can. If we choose
you
to.
gonna let me finish talking?
I could say I could chime in. It's my damn podcast.
You
Hell,
gonna
I could say amen.
One
if
thing
I
about
want
mine,
to.
she gonna cut somebody
You
off.
better know it.
Hey,
Better
Devin.
check yourself before you wreck yourself, girl. Oh, that's
You know
Becky.
what?
That's Becky you doing that, huh? Let me stop.
It'd be
That
funny
ain't
if a gust
Becky.
of
That's
wind
somebody
just.
with a good weed.
It'd be funny if a gust of wind and just blew on you and all of it came off.
I don't
I'd be
care. I'll
dying.
pick it up and put it right back on my head.
That's right. But
You were saying.
we were raised very differently.
Mhm.
So, and I don't want to say that I was raised to be a lady, but I was raised to be a lady. I was raised that there are just certain times where you speak and sometimes things don't need to be said. Silence is a very powerful weapon.
Right.
And when you realize that silence is a very powerful weapon, you use it.
Mhm.
So some things just don't need to be said.
Right. So if you're being silent, are you only being silent and using it as a weapon, or are you being silent to get something that ultimately you need as a woman? If you are saying that I'm looking for a relationship and I'm looking to build with somebody and I'm looking to marry somebody, which one is it? Because I only heard
A
you
weapon
mention,
is something that you use.
but I only hear you say I only hear you refer to being silent in the context of using it as a weapon.
Correct. You use something, a weapon or a tool. Better yet, a tool
Am I off?
as a means
No,
of
you're not
getting
off.
something
Okay.
that I would like.
Wow. So that's
So-
manipulation.
Absolutely.
Wow.
But
so
relationships.
you the kind of females that he's talking about. And I'm a
No.
woman, and I'm going to say, yes,
No.
you're one of those females.
No, certain times things just don't need to always. You don't always need to say everything that's on your mind.
But why are you trying to manipulate another
Everything
person?
does not need to be said. Your actions speak
But let
for
me
I
say
themselves.
agree, but why are you trying
because
to control somebody's
sometimes your
behavior?
actions speak
But
for
why
themselves.
are you trying to manipulate, move somebody's behavior?
You
why
don't need to say everything that's on your mind because your actions will speak for themselves.
I agree. And
And
my
that's
question,
it.
and
I
my
don't need to
question,
say anything.
okay, my question, you just said we're not dancing around this. You said
I don't need
okay,
to
are you gonna let me
speak
speak?
about
Are you gonna let me ask my
everything.
question? Can I ask my question, please?
Go ahead.
I agree with you. You don't have to speak all the time. Your action speaks louder than your words.
Absolutely.
I agree. Now, you also said when he asked you, do you stay silent because you want something or whatever, you gave an affirmative action to get what you want. So in essence, what you said, you use silence as a manipulation tool to get what you want. You use silence to control. Am I right or am I off?
No, that's
I'm not
pretty
off,
valid.
baby. I'm
That's
here.
pretty valid. And
That's what you said.
my question was, okay, but what about
I
you?
love you, girl.
No,
But
but
I'm
my
not-
question.
I'm
No,
not-
but
I ain't
listen,
gonna
hold
hold
on.
you.
Can we
Listening.
stay on track? My
Yeah.
question was, why not use silence to actually let's take it back to the basics and just to do what regular humans do.
Yeah, right
Why
on
not
my
use
blood
silence to
pressure.
actually just like listen and grow?
Oh no, I do that obviously.
Okay, but that's what my question was, because you only referred to silence in a form of using it as a weapon.
Right, you
And
said
if
that.
we
Oh, and then I
when
corrected
think-
myself and said tool. Correct.
Right.
You
Right.
did, but then when he said to manipulate, you said
Oh
yes.
no. So no, I use it as a tool, meaning that once again,
Mhm.
I don't need to say everything that I'm thinking
Right.
because
Right.
not everything that I'm thinking is appropriate.
Right.
Right.
Because right now I can say like, well, okay, fuck everybody.
Right.
Excuse my language, but fuck you.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I love it. Say it again.
But
Say
you know
it
that's
again.
you know how many
replay it.
times a day I go through that.
Right.
If I said fuck you, I don't give a fuck to everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
how productive is that?
If you said it to everybody that you thought it about, you would be saying it to everybody.
How
I feel you.
productive is that?
I feel you.
Where does that get me?
Right.
Nowhere.
But my
See,
the reason I,
hey, listen, you got that lesson much earlier than I did. I'm just saying.
but listen, the reason I say that I respected her so much for being silent is because a lot of people, my teacher used to tell me this all the time. Because I be, we
my
would go
God.
back and forth and he'd be like, sometimes you need to be silent, you need to be silent. I'd be like, I don't need to be silent, X, Y, and Z. And then he would tell me, he'd be like, you're not being silent for me. You're being silent for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that needs to grow in this situation. Right.
Right.
So I feel like,
So you out here looking like an ass.
right. So I feel like a lot of
No,
our,
facts.
and just so
true.
you know, because I know my approach may be harsh, this isn't Attack Women Day, but I feel like, honestly, if we're going to have the conversation, I have the conversation, I feel like a lot of women being silent is more so for them than it is for us. We can deal with the nagging if need be, we can do it. But if I'm saying, yo, be quiet, by you talking all the time, you're stunting your own growth.
Okay, I got to chime in for women still, though,
But I
because
say my pressure's bad. So
okay,
I
listen,
can't.
listen. I gotta chime in for the women because I agree with you, but still, my sisters, I'm about unity, us coming together. I'm not gonna rag them. You can. There's facts. There's truth. I want to speak the truth and still love them. And so I do agree that women, we need to get our stuff together. But then by the same token, no excuse. But I do understand the woman's plight. And so I look to the man. Yeah, your woman may be talking to you crazy and stuff like that. But come on. You see the world that we live in. Is it so easy for you to just step off and walk away from your woman? You know what women have been through for years and years and years. And you just going to shut her down and say, it's just easy for me to step off? Come on now.
I got a question.
Wait, can I respond to what she said?
Go ahead.
My response to what she says is, if we're talking about, is it so easy to walk away from your woman? Again, if you paid attention to the stat, too many men aren't walking away from their women, Mom. They're letting you know through their actions, I want to work on it. I'm trying to work on it.
Not when they bad mouthing them and talking negative about them.
But that's not a common thing though, Mom. Okay, but let's just start here real quick. You say, think about the state of the world. Think about women and blah, 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 X, Y, and Z, right? Men don't have that luxury. And that's why I get so annoyed, because if you want to talk about what women have gone through historically, let's talk about men and how the world treat black men. Let's talk about that conversation.
I know that,
but we don't have a space to say, hey, baby, be considerate of me, because you know why? The black woman gonna laugh at their man and be like, yo, I don't give a F what you talking about, X, Y, and Z. And it's like, sweetheart, I've been out working all day. I've been out trying to provide. I got these white people on my back. I'm a target. I'm stepping out into the world. Nobody is there to support us. So we lean to our black women to support us, but we can't even get our black women to support us.
you, brother. I support my black men, even if they ain't my men. I'm gonna support the brothers. Hands down.
What black women got black men, they got what they got. Hold on, listen. Black women got black men, they got white men and government assistants. They got women speaking out on their behalf. Y'all got so many resources. We have none.
But you know what the trick is? Because the whole world is an illusion. These things may be in place, but it's a trick.
I'm hiding in 2021.
It's a trick. So you may have this government resources and advocate groups. I've been on all of that stuff, right? And at the end of the day, it's like a setup for the black woman. Because when I feel like pulling that blanket from under you, what you got? You ain't got nothing.
True. But you wake
up, ladies.
But hold on.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you play it right, you have your black men to lean back on. If you play it right.
Do we?
But yes, you do. Hold on. Let me finish. If you play it right, if you play it right and you see what you have right in front of you and you invest in that, you invest stock in that, you do have your black men. However, I feel as if you're not investing stock in that, if you're looking everywhere else but home and what home has always been, you'll lose it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. Because we're used to surviving in this world on average. We're used to it. You're not. To that, you say what?
There's two things.
What's up?
So we're going to go back to your statement about when essentially, at least correct me if I'm wrong. And that's probably going to be, I'm about to say that's probably going to be like the biggest thing that I ever say on this
It's
podcast.
okay to be wrong because we're all learning, okay?
Facts.
So we're good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. I heard you say that black women don't listen.
That's not what I said.
Again, okay. So, because that's what I heard. And the reason why I say that that's what I heard.
I heard it too.
That's not what I said. I said, yeah, I have a hard time listening. There's a difference.
No.
You said they be yep.
I say, yeah, I have a hard time listening.
Nope. That's not what you said.
Well, he just corrected it.
Right. Okay. So if we have a hard time listening, my biggest thing is this. You said that you have black women speaking up for themselves. You have white men supporting black women in their agenda, and then you have other women.
With the malicious intent, but yeah.
Right. My thing is this. When we are having these conversations and while black women are yapping, when is it that the black man is like, baby, I hear you, but I just need you to come down?
Girl, give me high five, Tony.
When does that happen? When does that happen?
Ding,
Because
ding,
I don't,
ding.
quite frankly, I see a lot of times, and even in my father, love my daddy to death. I hope he don't watch this podcast, not this one, but love my daddy to death. My dad is the most calmest black man I have ever experienced. And especially with dealing with my mother, who was very much a hothead. Very much so. Very much of that. Just quick with it, just mouth off, quick. And then he'll be like, are you done? That's my dad.
Right.
So I had that opportunity. I've also seen the other side of the coin with my uncles. I love them also to death. But also, there's certain, that's where I learned how to be quiet. I'm not going to hold you. Because after a man gets to a certain point, I don't want to see what else you're capable of.
I'm trying to answer your question.
But I'm just saying, okay, cool. At what point did black men say, baby, I hear you?
Often.
Not you.
Often.
I beg to differ.
Can I tell you why I say often before you beg to differ?
Go ahead.
I say often because it's a common thing for me to see a man say, baby, I hear you. Relax. Chill. You ain't got to yell. I hear that often in relationships. Sweetheart, you ain't got to scream at me. Oh. I personally know men. I personally know couples that'll be in the car together. The woman will be screaming at the man, and he'll be trying to calm her down and be like, listen, I can't hear you over all the talking. I can't hear you over. I can't. And then at the end of the day, he'll just look out the window. I've seen it.
You know what? And I've seen it too. And I've done it before. I've been one of them screaming.
I didn't want to put you out there.
No, I don't care. Like, I'm real. I'm so real. This ain't about me. This is about maybe some younger women who may be open for this. But then I think women feel like when you speak to a man, you're expressing your feelings to him, and he's vague. He doesn't want to be specific. He doesn't acknowledge what you're saying,
But that's not a common thing, Mom.
Oh, Yes,
It's not.
it is.
No,
Stop
no.
it. Stop
It's
it.
not common. That's
is.
not a common thing.
I beg to differ.
Listen, let me tell you, I've had more men than you have. Okay,
That's true. That's true.
So,
And I am a man, and I've been around more men than you
but
have.
when I'm son, I'm
Amen.
57. I've been around
And I'm
the world.
25. We
I've
talk-
been, no.
We're talking about modern day
Stop.
men.
Stop.
We're talking about modern day men,
Okay,
Mom.
young men.
Yeah.
I'm around a lot of young men
Mhm.
in different situations and stuff like that, and I hear them talk. Very decent men,
Mhm.
and the
Yeah.
ones I find that are very decent, they have communication skills.
Mhm.
They listen. They not like these our swag hood men, you
Mhm.
know, who bout all of this and get in the
Mhm.
bag and yo baby and all of this, because that's a whole nother thing.
That
When
is.
female, they like, yo, I'm out here trying to get this bag. I'm coming home. You talking that gang.
Mhm.
You know, they shutting their woman down.
Mhm.
Yeah, they may be paying the bills, but we know you round the corner with Susie, got a couple of babies over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, you may be paying my rent and doing all of that, but yeah, we going off because we emotional creatures. You may be providing for us, but we know you out there banging everybody in the hood, and we supposed to just take it. So when we present the conversation, you don't want to hear it. You shut it down. All right, whatever. If that's what you want to believe. You know that's how it go. I know that's or they smile. The
not
mature
true.
man does it like this. Well, no, that's not how it is.
So let me respond to you, because you and I live.
You can't
You
respond.
and I live in two totally different realities.
Well,
what I
we
see,
don't.
what I see,
Alex, you got a girl.
no, I'm talking about just from what exists, from what happens. I've heard countless men say, "Happy wife, happy life." Listen,
I
whatever
hate that.
whatever I got to do to make whatever I got to do to make her happy, I'm gonna do it, fam. Because honestly, I can't do the yelling. I have seen men exhaust all of their options with women, or all of the options that they know how to exhaust. If she's screaming, it's like, "All right, baby, I'm sorry, just bring it down." I've seen that commonly in men.
Where?
So
Where you seen this at? Because I've lived most of the same places you live. I raised you. So I want to know where, because you definitely didn't see this in Florida, okay?
Ooh.
And that's where you spent most of your life at. So where did you see this?
Ooh.
I've seen men try to be more rational. If we being honest, if
In
we
African-American houses?
Absolutely. If we're being honest, I've seen men, black men, try to be more rational than black women. If we being
Wow.
honest, if we trying to have a
You must
conversation.
got them X-ray vision.
No, I'm just being honest. I'm just being
5G
honest.
capability where you can look through people's walls.
But see,
and stuff.
but see, here's the thing though, because you only can look through the lens of a black woman. You only can. You don't have the ability. Unfortunately, just
No,
naturally,
you're right.
naturally, you do not obtain the ability to look through a lens other than your own. My thing is, I can look at it. I can empathize with you and understand you because I grew up in a house with women. I can say that, right? But I can also look from another point of view and say, hey, listen, we understand where you're coming from. Maybe our languages are different, but we do, on average, I can say truly that I feel as if men humble themselves a lot more and make more adjustments than women do. I can say that on average, especially if we're talking about the modern day man and woman. If you tell a woman to change something about herself, modern day woman, if I tell you to change something about yourself, Toni, well, I ain't gonna use you. I'm saying if I'm using the average modern day woman, let me tell her to change something about herself.
It depends on what you're telling her to change, Alex.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think it does.
I'm gonna tell you.
I think that there are a lot of modern day women who are willing to compromise for the right man.
No.
You can't be out here compromising for everybody.
What's the right man though? What's the right man for
Someone
you?
who has what you need.
Okay.
And you know they have what you need.
Okay.
So you know that there are certain moments where you have to compromise. I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to be out here compromising for every man. It ain't going to happen.
But Toni, let's be real, because you can't search for a man, and this is a lot of my. I'm not crapping on y'all. This is a lot of my. This is a lot of my black sisters. You can't look for a man and providing what you need for yourself when you don't even know what you need. Let's talk about it.
So and that's the whole issue, you know. So
let's talk about it.
That's the whole issue. That's everything you're saying when you're saying women disrespect men. Like we say they're unaware. They're unaware of the structural situations that influence what they're unaware that this is a setup, right? So we know the problem. So what is the solution?
I can't. Okay.
I say it's to look inward.
Exactly.
And that's my point. That's my point.
And it's not just with, hold on, because your problem is just look inward with women. I say it's both sides of the coin that needs to look
Absolutely.
inward.
Men.
I agree with you.
White men got white men got, you know what? And I'm gonna say it and this don't matter.
Mom,
if it's contemporary, young, old. Why men got to be hoes and always got to be sleeping with more than one woman? Because that's a big problem for women. We're emotional creatures, and when you hear women going off, it's a lot of times because that man has stepped out of the relationship.
28.
I'm not finished. I'm not done. I'm not done. He might be paying bills and stuff like this, but by the fact that you done stepped out on me, you challenging my sense of self, my self-esteem. I'm like, what's wrong with me? You say, baby, I'm sorry, I'm holding this down. No, you have damaged me. So, what you got to say to that? I understand that.
I'll say
Step.
I'll say to that. I'll say this. Well, because I'm about to trump what you just said.
We did that, girl.
I'm about to
She
trump
did
what you
that.
said.
I'm sorry.
28% of men cheat. 24% of women cheat.
Then
Y'all
why
right
don't
there.
we give
Hold
me
on.
stats?
No, I'm giving you fact.
I'ma go
Here's the
no,
difference.
those
No,
are stats.
I'm giving you fact. 28% of men cheat. 24% of women cheat. So if we talking about looking
Women
inward,
cheat too.
no, hold on. If we talking about looking inward, I agree with you. That's what I said, right? I said I agree with you. My problem was we've been forced. We have literally been forced.
Oh my, you've been forced to cheat?
Listen. No. We have been forced. No.
Oh, wow.
Mom, I respected you. Like we've been forced and we've been told our entire lives about ourselves. That's my point. We've been told about ourselves historically over and over and over and over again.
And we haven't?
No.
Whoa.
No, you haven't.
Boy.
Consistently? Hold on. If we talking about it, if you tell a woman about herself and you tell her what she need to do, she looking at you crazy. She ready
Let's
to
go back
argue.
historically.
Alex,
Let's go.
you
Never.
can't go there.
You
Come on,
can't.
man.
50s alone, bro, have proved you completely
Even
wrong.
before that. Come on,
The
Alex.
1950s by
Come on.
themselves
If
have
a-
proved that whole decade, baby, done proved
only
you
reason
wrong.
only reason I'm not hearing what you say is because if a man go on a public platform right now or make a song about how a woman is and how she ain't shit and use the same lyrics that Shy used, but flip it on a woman, he's getting canceled. You can do it and you can be fine.
Wait a minute, I beg to differ because men have been doing it. The rap game, the rap culture, when they rapping and spitting and the stuff that they talking about, yes, they may not be calling her certain names, and a lot of times they are because we always the bitch. You know what I'm saying?
always the bitch,
But if
we
you
always
listen
the
to
hoe.
you listen to the lyrics, they're talking about Trey songs, beat it upstairs. I can't wait, all of that crap. So it's like men have been talking about women like we're nothing but a piece
That's not
of
true.
meat.
That's not true.
Like
Y'all-
we're a box
but y'all
that you
don't,
just
though.
go in and do what you got to do.
Okay.
Nigga, don't talk
And
to me
fine,
about that.
no, and fine.
better know.
My point in saying that is, see, and
sorry,
I can even tell you the difference between you and me. If somebody tells me about me, I know how to handle it. As a woman, somebody tell you about you, you do this. That's my point.
Okay, and you know what? And let's take it back. That's why I say I do need a man to protect me. Because if I had a solid man, I wouldn't even have to, another man wouldn't even step to me and talk to me like that.
Yeah, but my problem is a lot of y'all do be having solid men. How many women do you know? And I had this conversation with you the other day, which is why I don't understand why you going off like this. How many women do you know? How many women do you know have had that one guy in their life that be like, dang, I did have a good one. If I could go back and do it differently, I would do it.
Men say it too.
No, but that's not the question. And that's my point. Stop.
What was the question? I missed the question.
Hold on,
Sorry.
I'll repeat it. But that's my point.
Okay,
Anytime you sing,
I missed the question, so
I'll
I
repeat
can't
it.
say nothing.
I'll repeat it, but that's my exact point. Anytime you single a female out, you always got to drag a man in it, and it's like, why can't you ever take a space to just reflect without having to bring a guy in it?
And let me answer this. And I get what you're saying. It's almost like if I bring something up to your attention, Alex, I don't like when you do this. Then you dig way back from 5 weeks to tell me what I did. Right? So I get what you're saying. But yeah, women, I know when you're coming at saying, women do this or whatever, people feel attacked. Don't come at me. You can highlight my behavior, but when a woman or me, we're sensitive creatures. So when we're feeling like we're attacked, you're the stronger sex. Yeah, I know me. I find myself like this. So I don't want no man coming at me. So naturally, I'm automatically putting up them walls.
Okay.
I'm trying to compose my sense of self. I'm trying to value myself. So I'm like, knowing that you could, not that you would physically harm me,
right,
but knowing that you're the stronger sex. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stand up in my womanhood. I'm not going to let this man talk to me. That's why we do that.
Okay, and you just gave me a lot of reasons on why you do what you do. That's fine. If that's your reasons, then be sensitive and die alone. Let it be that. Be sensitive and die alone. Because at the end of the day, Mom, if we just being honest, if we're talking about majority, typically, y'all the ones crying about lack of relationship.
That is not true.
My name is Alex Simmons. Thank you guys very much for having me on today.
Yeah, we need to go because you know what, Alex, I could take it if you were speaking totally.
Can I say something real quick?
We got about 2 minutes, guys.
It's been brought to my attention.
This.
Nigga. I'll say it for you.
Negus.
Black women, I love you. Don't kill me.
Child, they gonna chop you up.
Okay, that's fine. I can take it. That's fine.
No,
They
but
gonna
you're speaking the
chop you up.
truth.
No, there's nothing wrong with
and we
it.
do as a woman, and I'm older, but as women, we need to get ourselves together. And us older women need to be talking to these younger women, you know, trying to pour into them, trying to teach them how to be wives, how to be in relationships. That's our jobs. I believe that. And I believe young women need to have more respect for the elders. They can learn a lot from them and wouldn't be going through all this crap that they're going through. I believe that. That's my take. I'm Imogene. I said what I meant what I said, and I'm not taking it back.
Amen.
I agree.
Hallelujah.
We hit on a lot of important points, and y'all have
I'm not saying
agreed.
my point just don't matter.
We've agreed on a lot of points, so we've agreed. So
We
there's
got you
nothing else for me to say.
mispronouncing words over there, huh?
No, because the conversation, realistically, we be honest, was over in the first 10, 15 minutes. But I just, because I like to give good content, I just, whatever.
You
Go
a
ahead.
lie.
You know
No,
what?
it wasn't.
Hold up. I am not going to allow you to think you just grand stood just like you did.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Because, like you just said, it was over. We're not going to allow you to ride the intellectual bus
It
when you
was.
haven't even bought a ticket. How about that?
The conversation was over.
But
And
what I will say,
for me,
what
the
I will
conversation
say,
was
it
over.
was a lot of good things, and it was a lot of good points. So just to reiterate, like whether people agree or not, you got facts and you got truth, and you spoke truth, and you spoke truth. And damn what studies say, because that's based upon sampling and all of that, and you get enough information that supports what's said. But like I said, we don't need studies. We Black. We live in Black communities. We see this firsthand.
Yo, Mom, can I say one last thing? I promise this is the last thing. The last thing that I'll say is, if we're talking about failing relationships, we can keep saying, I can keep saying for men, you need to do this, right?
Right.
But we've seen men adapt. We've seen them of course, be workers. We've seen men become
Absolutely.
stay-at-home moms and cooks and stuff, chefs. We've seen men doing a lot of adapting. At some point, if it's still not working, at some point you gotta turn it around, Doc.
So give, since we're all about love, that's why we're talking about this, right? Because we want to see us do better as a people, to be united, to be loving ourselves, and to be loving each other. And obviously enough, we haven't learned how to love ourselves. That's why we can't really love each other, right?
Facts.
So what would you give to all the ladies in the house? What would you give them?
I'll give you guys this one, man. I'll say that I love you all, and I can confidently speak on the majority of my Black brothers. We love you all. We're not perfect. We make mistakes.
Yeah,
We
I
have
see.
issues, right? Please work with us, because I think we've proven that we're willing to work with you guys. I think we've proven that we're there and we're loyal and dedicated to you guys. Just work with us. You are beautiful. You are incredible. We're not your enemy. We actually want to be on the same page with you, contrary to what y'all may believe. Like, we want to be on the same page with y'all. So don't attack us, because we're not the ones that you should be attacking. We're the ones that really in your corner. We just might sip a little Hennessy and go cheat every once in a while. But whatever. That's it.
No, but whatever.
What you got, baby?
Well, I'm gonna say this.
I don't like her voice.
I don't care what you don't
Just
like.
the way you say it. You go, well,
Well, I'm gonna say it again.
you and your perfect teeth.
I have a gap.
That's it. You're
But-
perfectly incomplete, man. There you go. See what I did
can't
there, right?
stand him. Either way,
Hire me.
I'm gonna say this. We only attract what we can reflect. When you're a broken person, you attract broken people because you're broken. Fix yourself, work on yourself before you try to go in and work on something else, such as a relationship.
I like yours better, man.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
well said.
That was deep.
Well said. I like that you sent love and you sent compassion and empathy, and I like that. And
Thank you.
and I just want to say, ladies, you're younger, I'm older, we're all women, and I want to speak to the fellas. See us for who we really are. Understand that when you see this wall or this harsh language, like Toni said, you know that that lady has been broken, you know? So give us a little bit more patience. Give us a little more understanding. We all we got. And like you say, if men protect us, if y'all stop protecting us, who we got? We just out here. And that's part of the big plan.
That's beautiful, but you were supposed to be giving something to the women, not the men.
Okay, well, I had to say that. And ladies, just check yourself. I always say it's easier to look out the window than it is to look in the mirror because we're so busy judging. And actually, when we're judging other women, that's an indication of what's happening inside of ourselves. And what we're saying is when we see something different from what we would do, we're using us as the standard because someone else is different. But if you really open up to be in touch with what's happening when you're judging, you'll get some information. And it's hard. People call it shadow work. You call it this, you call it that. It's about really getting to know yourself and knowing, like Bishop's saying, you're more than lips, hips, and fingertips. You know, you are so much more than that. And yeah, you can twerk on the gram and you can say how much money you make. But you know what? At the end of the day, you can have money. You can have all of these material things. But I agree, you don't want to die alone. And that's not the way it was meant to be. So I said, ladies, check yourself. Check yourself. Take the time to get to know yourself, love you, and let's respect our men. I made a commitment. I'm going to respect my men. And Black men are just beautiful men. They're strong. They're beautiful. And I love my brothers and sisters, okay? If y'all can just keep that Willie underneath of that hat, y'all would be all right.
Right. Leave them ugly attitudes alone.
I know. I know.
That's for everybody.
It's been real, y'all. It's been real. Hey, y'all, drop a comment and share this video with someone. This is really, really a good one. We getting it together. We perfecting our incompleteness. You know what? But it's been real nice talking to y'all. And I like y'all. You know that I really love y'all.
Yes.
I love you too.
I said
I love you too, Alex.
Look, I love you, Mom. Are we getting out of here?
Y'all, we out of here. We out of here. We see you next time. All right. Deuces. Bella says bye. She jumped. She's so
I was about to
scary.
say, you scared her. Look at her.